welcome to this week's video. This video's topic is about libraries, and libraries have so many resources that I think a lot of people don't know about, and a lot of times when people think of libraries, they think just of books, and I think that there's so much more than that, so I wanted to share that in this video. So let's get started. So of course libraries have books, but did you know that libraries also have books like mangas or graphic novels? I love going to the library for mangas and graphic novels, and my local library has such a wide variety of manga options available, as well as some indie graphic novels and even some zines by local artists. So it's really cool to be able to go to the library and find some things like that. And there's even ongoing series for kind of more recent mangas like Firefly Wedding, and it really encourages me to go to the library to kind of go check out what they have, and also just kind of find some new things, also support local artists and the kind of things that they have there as well. And then you can also make your own zines and kind of put them out on display for people to take a look at, which is really cool as well. But if your local library doesn't offer any, I would definitely suggest that you share recommendations with the library. Then next, I have ebooks or audiobooks. So if you like listening to audiobooks while you're reading a book, or just prefer to listen to the audiobook versions of books, some libraries use either Libby or Hoopla to borrow audiobooks. I've used those quite a bit. I from time to time like to listen to audiobooks while reading, or just audiobooks themselves, especially when I'm working and I can't really like focus on a book, but I can listen to it. It's really helpful. Some libraries also have physical CD audiobooks available to borrow if you prefer that instead. Then next I have book clubs. So some libraries organize book clubs every month for a particular book. Sometimes they have them for youth book clubs, or they have adult book clubs. You can also organize your own book club. Some libraries even encourage that and provide like a kit with lots of the same copies of one particular book with like kind of instructions on how to organize the book club. So if that's something you're interested in participating in, make sure to check your local library to see if that is available. And then next I have free magazines. So magazines like New York Times, Washington Post, some libraries offer access to these newspapers or magazines, whether that be digital or physical versions. Your local library might even offer the games that are available for the New York Times. So if you play like Wordle or Connections, you might be able to do that and have like full access to all of the archived games. And I use this sometimes, especially when I'm really in a like crossword or Wordle mood and I just want to do a bunch in like one sitting. I will do that, and that's really cool to do because there's some days where I just don't have time to, or I just forget to, and so yeah. Then next I have free movies, whether that be physical or digital. So a lot of libraries have a way to access free movies like Canopy or Hoopla. Both of those platforms are really good, whether it's for like leisure or like kind of documentary kind of things, or like for college courses. I've used it for college courses for some of the documentaries that they have, especially on Canopy. So those are really great options, even just for like kind of leisure things that you want to watch in your free time. Those are really great options as well. But in addition to that, some libraries have physical DVDs, and my local library even offers some newer movies in physical form. I'm not really sure how that works, but I've seen that. So like for example, You is only on Netflix really, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I have seen that in physical form for you to borrow from the library, which is really cool. So if you don't want to, purchase a subscription for a streaming platform, or just want to be really intentional about the things that you want to watch, That is a great option as well. And then also you can borrow music from the libraries, whether that be like CDs or like albums themselves. So like I mentioned about the movies, if you don't want to pay for streaming services or just hear ads while you're trying to listen to music, some libraries have CDs available to borrow physically, or if your library uses Hoopla, you may also be able to borrow and download some of your favorite albums. Those are of course a little bit different than like streaming platforms where you can just choose what you listen to on the go and whatever, but I think that it's really nice, especially if you're really into one album at a certain point in time and you're just listening to it over and over and over again anyways. I like doing this very often. If I really like a song, or if there's like an album that just came out that I really like, I will listen to it on repeat, and so that's really helpful and useful as well without having to pay a certain amount per month for a streaming service that to listen to music that you might not use fairly often. And then next I have internet services. So some libraries have computers available to borrow and browse the internet, and alternatively libraries have free Wi-Fi available if you'd prefer to bring your laptop to study or catch up on some work that you've been putting off, or even other things like watching YouTube at the library with your headphones on. Those are all available for you to use for the internet at the library. I think most libraries offer this service as well. Next, I have printing services. So some libraries also offer printing services. Sometimes that's like the first few pages are free, or there's a certain rate per page depending on if it's printed in color or black and white. And this could be useful for things like printing resumes, research papers, or even just like cute pictures that you find online. I've used it for that specific purpose for like some of my doll items and whatnot. I think there's like a frame in there with like a cute little K-On picture that I printed from the library, which was definitely useful when I didn't have a printer. I currently have a printer now at home, but it definitely is useful, and some libraries have like a discounted rate for like only like 10 cents per black and white page, or 50 cents per color page. So that's really useful as well in comparison to some of the other printing chains that costs like way more for printed paper. Yeah. Next, I have job and career resources. So if you're looking for job and career resources, some libraries offer workshops for resume building, access to job coaching videos, as well as additional online career resources. And I haven't personally used this yet, but I could see this being useful if I ever wanted to change my job. And also, like I mentioned previously, if your library offers printing services, you could also print your resume. Next, I have citizenship resources. So some libraries also offer citizenship resources, whether it's resources from your local government for citizenship practice tests, as well as resources on how to apply for citizenship if that's something that you might be interested in. And then next, I have free museums. So some libraries offer free museum tickets. So if you live in California, there is the Museum and Go program, which offers free and discounted museum tickets to certain museums throughout California, depending on your particular local library and the surrounding area. And next, I have state park passes. So in addition to free or discounted museum tickets, some libraries also offer free state park passes, which is also under the Museum and Go program for California. So if you enjoy being outdoors, or you want to visit a certain state park, or just want to spend more time outside and enjoy nature, this is definitely something that you should look into to see if your library offers that. And next, I have board games, which is one of my favorite things to borrow from the library. There are a lot that have board games available to borrow. Sometimes they even have like regular events that you can participate in, such as chess games or other kind of board game night kind of activities. Some of the board games that I've borrowed personally from my local library is like Exploding Kittens, Ticket to Ride, and there's just like so much more. Spot It. There's so many options available. Like one of the libraries that I go to, they just have it like all on display in like a bunch of different rows, which is really nice. And kind of sometimes it's helpful when I really feel like I want to go buy something or like buy a board game or something to do, and instead I just go to the library and just kind of take a peruse of the items that are available. And sometimes there might not be any good options on the bookshelf, but that's where borrowing those things or looking for those things online and putting them on hold is really helpful. And then a few weeks later, I'm able to just stop by the library and go pick up the item on hold, so that is definitely really helpful. Next, I have video games. So similar to board games, some libraries also offer video games to borrow, such as like games on the Switch, the PlayStation, and the Xbox. So my local library even has like consoles that people can borrow, and it does take a while, months out even, to borrow these consoles, but I think it's definitely worth it. And some locations even have like consoles available to play in the library without having to borrow it. They're usually like in the teen or youth area where they just have like a TV set up and like a console that you can play on. I've even seen one of the libraries have like a Switch 2, which was really cool. And I've never played on a Switch 2 and I haven't played it yet necessarily, but I think it'd be cool if I did want to go do that, I could. But yeah, video games are definitely one of my favorite things to borrow aside from board games. But yeah, my local library has a lot of otome games, especially on the Switch as well, so I borrowed some, but there's just so many options, and I feel like it's really nice because I don't have to spend like $40 or $60 on those games to just try them out, and I can just try them at the library. And usually the otome games are not reserved, so it's really nice for me to just go and get them. Lastly, I have the library of things. So some libraries have a library of things, which consists of like many different things, as the name implies, ranging from like household items to video game consoles to sewing machines or cricket machines. And like I mentioned, they tend to take a while to reserve them since libraries do have a limited amount of these items, but I think it's definitely worth it, especially for things like hobbies. If you want to just try out a new project or something without having to make like such a large purchase on things like a sewing machine or a cricket machine, you can just borrow it. And if you only use it a few times, that's great, or maybe it's just like kind of a test to see if you really want to purchase those items. I think that's really nice to be able to have that as an option. And I've definitely utilized my library's library of things quite a few times for like their scanners, DSLR cameras, video game consoles, and I think it's super worth it. There's other things like lawnmowers, cake pans, so many variety of things, cornhole, like lots of different things that you can borrow, and I think it's really nice. And like I mentioned, if you don't want to purchase like really big items, or if you don't have space for these big items regularly and you just want to borrow it, it is really helpful. So that was the last resource, and if you've gotten this far in the video, thank you for sticking around. And if you're wondering where your local library is located or your closest library and you live in the US, I have linked the library finder with in the description with libraries in the US compiled by the Institute of Museum and Library Services and Career One Stop, where you can input your address or your zip code and you can find the closest library to you. Also, if you can think of any other resources that I might have missed out on that your library offers, or you know that a lot of libraries offer, feel free to list those in the comments. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. But that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed and found these resources helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!